This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. All right, so I want to start this video out by saying there is no more of a useless opinion about the draft than the opinion you have the day after it, right? Like, my opinion about this draft next year and 5 years from now will be infinitely more useful than this opinion that I have right now. So if I feel positively or negatively, just know it means little in the long run versus what we will see. Again, I am not a better evaluator than time. Nobody is a better evaluator than time. And time will be the only evaluation of these players that matters. And as always, if it's the decision that I disagree with, I hope for myself to be wrong, because ultimately, if me being wrong means the Browns being better, it's going to work out, right? I was excited about Perrion last year. He didn't have the rookie year I hoped he had, but hopefully he steps it up and plays better and everybody's wrong, right? He gets to be good later on. I didn't like the Jordan Elliott pick. Unfortunately, that one didn't end up panning out. I kind of like the Tommy Togiai pick. That one didn't work out, right? We could go down the list. There are tons of picks that I liked that worked out, and tons of picks that I did not like that have worked out. Ultimately, the only evaluator that matters is time. That being said, I'm not a big fan of this pick. And yes, did I like other players on the board? Sure. I don't like this player specifically. I am concerned that the type of player that the Browns drafted is the type of player that's kind of being phased out the NFL. And I'm not sure if this is somebody who's going to be able to contribute to this team, not just this year, but in the future because of that. Now, before I go into why I don't like the pick, I'm going to talk about the reasons they did make the pick. The Browns were one of the worst run defending teams of all time last year. This is a big body. He's 6'3", 335 pounds. Big dude, not the longest dude, but a big dude. Certainly a big body. Space filler. Somebody you would call an old school 3-4 nose, and I guess with how well Javon Hargraves played in Philadelphia, people think that those bodies can be moved into 3 techs. I don't think it's that simple. I think there's a reason why you don't really see much of the Danny Sheltons of the world or the Ted Washingtons of the world anymore. And look, people are going to compare him to Vita Vea because that's the other body type that's in the league. He's not Vita Vea. He's not even close to the athlete that Vita Vea is. I mean, that's a ridiculous comp. Even if you like him, I don't think you're doing him fair by comparing him to Vita Vea. Vita Vea is one of the most athletic guys at that size to ever come into the draft. He's not that. He's not even close to that realm of athlete. He's not as athletic as you would hope for somebody that big. Now, he's not a complete, like, stiff guy or anything like that. Like, he's a decent athlete for his size, but he's not a plus athlete for his size. Like, we're not talking about a Jordan Davis or a Vita Vea or anybody in that realm. We're not even talking about somebody athletic for their size in the same way that Danny Shelton was. This is somebody who's much less athletic for that size. But he does have that size. He was a good run defender in college. Maybe they're going to run some odd fronts where they have him kind of play a zero. I don't think they're married to him playing a zero. I think they're going to actually have him out there at 3 tech because drafting him here makes no sense if you're not going to play him at 3 tech. So I think they think that there's some kind of hope there. And again, one of the biggest problems with the Browns defensive line last year was that they were moved easily. This dude weighs a lot. The hope is that he will not be moved easily. I understand the logic behind the pick. I know there's a million people who are going to try to explain to me the logic behind the pick. I understand the logic on why you would draft somebody who has the physical profile of Siaki Ika. I understand it. I understand it. I am not ignorant to that fact. That fact is not lost on me. My issue isn't with the dude being his size or the position he plays. I wanted a defensive tackle. My issue is that I'm not a big fan of the prospect. And I'm allowed to have my opinion on that. You're allowed to have your opinion on my opinion. I'm not a big fan of it. Again, it's better for the team if I'm wrong. So I hope I'm really wrong about this. But some of the areas in which I don't love him is he's real tight for somebody that size. Doesn't move gracefully, especially for somebody that size. If he's not a plus athlete at that size, then he has to be exceptionally strong at that size. He's not exceptionally strong. He's strong, especially in the Big 12, but he's not exceptionally strong. So my big concern is that he's not going to be big and strong and fast enough to get past people. And look, he's never going to be a great pass rusher. I'm not even expecting that from him or even upset that he's not going to be a big pass rusher. But the question is, hey, he should be a good run defender. And I don't think this is a plug and play. He's going to automatically be a great run defender that some people are saying it is. I think there's a lot of questions there. Like, is he long enough to really be an effective run defender despite the fact that he's 300 pounds, 320 pounds? And I just don't think he's really like exceptionally long in that way or skilled in the in his run defense that he's going to be this automatically good run defender. I thought there were better options at the 3 tech position. Again, we're just going to have to trust Jim Schwartz here and trust that he had a say in this draft pick. And given that this has nothing to do with any of the guardrails that they have followed in the past, it probably was a Jim Schwartz pick. And maybe Jim Schwartz is right about this and I'm wrong. And that's 100% a realistic possibility. Jim Schwartz has forgotten more football than I know. But I am concerned about this pick. Hopefully I'm wrong and it doesn't matter, or hopefully they draft somebody who's really good, or maybe Maurice Hurst plays really well in camp, or Perion Winfrey has a resurgence, or Jordan Elliott, or somebody shows up at defensive tackle to where we don't talk about this. I understand that this pick is going to divide some fans. Some fans are going to love this pick. Some fans are going to hate this pick. But understand, the 74th and 98th pick of this draft isn't going to be what keeps the Browns in the playoffs or gets the Browns in the playoffs. It really isn't. These are things for the future. For right now, what's going to keep this team in the playoffs or put this team in the playoffs or put them out of the playoffs is the play at quarterback, is the play from the veterans on defense and everything around them. So we can sit here and argue about this draft pick over this, or we should have got this guy over that. And that's all fair and fun and good. But don't forget the big picture is that we have the main pieces that we need to succeed. I'm not a big fan of this pick, but there have been picks I like. I wasn't a big fan of Martin Emerson, right? I didn't love that pick. Ended up being a good pick for year one. Again, we have to be careful with determining picks, failures, and successes after 1 year. We really do. But there's always that, right? Some guys you like coming out, they turn out to be great. Some guys you don't like coming out, they also turn out to be great. Or they improve, fix some stuff, get better at this spot or here. But that's kind of my thoughts about this pick. I was not a big fan of it. I'm not going to hide that. But I'm also not going to hide the fact that I'm rooting on myself to be wrong here. We'll see. Hopefully he's a great run defender. Hopefully we got the best run defender in the draft. Because, again, I get why they would make the pick. The logic behind it does make sense because we did stink at stopping the run. I don't know if he's going to be the run defender we hope he's going to be. Time will be the ultimate evaluator on that. And if I'm wrong, that's awesome. That's awesome because that means we have a fix at the run game. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you love this pick? Unlike me, or like me, do you hate this pick? Let me know what you think in the comment. Well, hate's a strong word. Not a big fan of the pick. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is there somebody else that you want the Browns to get? Let's talk about it down there. Let's be civil. We all cheer for the same team for the most part. Ain't no reason to get uncivilized over no damn third round draft pick. But y'all have a great day. Have a good night.